All right, time for a market update here. This is Vancouver proper in aggregate. So condos, townhomes, detached homes. And you can see here, April 2025, we've been on the decline here in prices. Prices have been coming down. So just to recap, we started the year, started January 2024 at 1.25 million. We peaked at 1.3 million. Then we went into a trough here, 1.26. Bit of a pickup. The beginning of this year was actually quite robust, quite a bit of activity. I actually had a pretty good year in the first half of 2025, but you can see that's rolled over now. June, July, August, September. So prices have been coming down, and you can see that in days on market. So this chart is inverse to that. You can see the days on market have been slowly climbing, although August to September, they've started to come down a little bit. So maybe we see a bit of a taper there. Inventory, again, you'll see the same thing. As those prices have been coming down, inventory and listings have been increasing. Again, though, it looks like maybe that's stabilized here. Hard to say. Sales to active listings ratio. So this is basically a temperature gauge of the market. Anything below 12% for a sustained period, you're going to see prices slowly come down. Anything above 20%, you're going to be in a seller's market. Anything in between, you're more balanced. So March 2024, we're at 19%. Seller's market, prices are increasing. Fast forward to September 2025, we're at 10%. So we're below 12. That would indicate prices slowly coming down, assuming that holds. So for the year, you can see that we're down about 1% here. We're down 2.8% here in aggregate prices in Vancouver since the beginning of the year. Now, if we look at the 3-year chart, it looks to me like we've basically just been treading water. We've been kind of range bound here. January 2022, 1.27. September 2025, 1.241. So prices have not actually changed that much, guys, in the last few years. I think that would come as a surprise to a lot of people. You know, if you're following the CBC and Global and some of the garbage on social media would have you believe the market's crashing, which of course it's not. But it is a buyer's market. So here's the 5-year chart. And here is the 10-year chart. So 2015, January 2015, 892,000. We're now at 1.241. Here's the going out to the maximum, which goes back all the way to 2005. January 2025, it was 386,000. We're now at 1.241 million. So this is why I tell you guys, really, you need to focus on the long term in real estate. You need to have an absolute minimum 5 or 6 year holding period, but really, you're not really going to see the lift until at least 10 or 12 years, because that's when you start to chip away at the principal. That accelerates over time as you pay down that mortgage, and you're going to start to see some capital gains there. And of course, those flow to you tax free if it's your principal residence. That's where the real gains are in real estate. You know, a lot of my first time buyers here, you guys are going to be in the market for 40 or 50 years. So who cares what the market does next year? It's an unrealized loss. Just as conversely, it's an unrealized gain. It doesn't matter. You should be holding these things for very, very long periods of time. But again, going back to that sales to actives, 10%, this indicates that you can write offers now, and I am subject to finance, subject to insurance, satisfactory review of the strata documents, engineering reports. You can take your time and do your due diligence, and you're not in multiple offers. And this is rare in Vancouver, guys. You know, if we look back here, there was a brief period in September, we were at 11% buyer's market. January 2023, we were at 11%. 2020, we were at April 2020, 11%. But look how quickly this bounced back. Here we're at 46% in March 2021. Strong seller's market. Very rare that you get into this. Here, September 2012, we were at 4% in November 2008 during the financial crisis, but look how quickly this bounced back. By June 2009, we were at 37, sales to actives of 37%. Now you're in multiple offers and bidding wars. You can't rate subject to finance. You're rating a subject-free offer. Much more competitive. You might have 18, 20 other offers on the table. I recall back in the business in March 2021, 46%. That was insane. And keep in mind, 80% of the time we're going to be in a strong seller's market in Vancouver. So when you get one of these buying windows where you're below 12%, I would say it's a pretty good time to be a buyer here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm Jay Cooper. Feel free to comment below or subscribe. See you in the next video.